this has been a debate for the last couple of months, okay? It's really for the last couple of years because LeBron James likes to open his mouth and say that he's the greatest basketball player of all time. I think he's out of his mind. I do. I think he's a great basketball player. I think he's number 2 of all time. But Michael Jordan, I'm sorry. I watched Michael Jordan at the top of his game. He, to me, changed the game of basketball, opened up so many paths for international basketball from Italy to France to the Dominican Republic. I mean, there are basketball players coming from the Dominican Republic. I want to know your honest opinion. Michael Jordan, LeBron James, who's the greatest basketball player of all time?
Oh, my God. I think for me, actually growing up, to be honest with you, seeing Michael Jordan dominate and take over the game the way he did was something that, you know, every kid wanted to be, you know, taking the last shot, being that guy to take the team on his back, no matter if you miss or make, you having that energy to actually do that. LeBron actually came in with a different tenacity as far as taking over the game, as far as facilitating, as far as a lot of other things of helping his team, needing his team. But Bron was one of those things where I look at it like this, to be honest with you. If you were to spend your last money on a ticket, who would you go see? You know what I mean? Who would you go see? If you had your last dollar, who would you go see? And again, like if you were watching these two juggernauts compete against each other, who are you looking at more? You know, like who would you be looking at more? Would you be looking at LeBron or would you be looking at Jordan the way he actually plays?
We watch both of them play. We're the same age. I'm a little bit older than you. I'm 42. You're 41. So again, I watched both of these guys in the prime of their careers. I remember when LeBron was drafted. I remember when Cleveland just automatically were the worst team in the NBA. He comes from Cleveland. He goes to Cleveland, and there she blows. And Michael Jordan really changed the game because I look at the game differently now because of Michael Jordan, the athletic, ability that Michael Jordan had in the 90s. Everybody says, well, if Michael Jordan had that athletic ability now, everybody has Michael Jordan's athletic ability. Meanwhile, everybody keeps comparing Anthony Edwards to Michael Jordan, which is ridiculous because Michael Jordan wouldn't be doing what he's doing in the playoffs against the Dallas Mavericks. That series probably would have been over already if it was Michael Jordan. So they're different. They're different beasts. Now, that doesn't mean that Michael Jordan isn't Michael Jordan and LeBron James can't be compared by each other. I mean, they can be compared because they have dominated their eras. They're the kings of their eras, and it's a different game. It's a different style of game. But that's why I don't understand it. And by the way, I respect LeBron believing that he believes that he is the greatest basketball player of all time. It's just the way he does it, where he comes out. He won on the ESPY Awards. And he speaks, and he has his wife, he has his kids saying it. Why don't you say you're the greatest basketball player? Michael Jordan came out, and when they asked Michael Jordan, he looked at the camera and he says, "Well, who do you think is the greatest basketball player of all time?"
And leave it up to you. Yeah.
And you know what he does? This is what he does. That's what he does. He says, "That's what I'm 6-0, baby." Yeah. That's what he said. So that's the way he looks at it. I mean, numbers, LeBron's going to have all the numbers. He's going to have all by the time he's done. But the basketball world now is all about numbers now. It's not about what they do on and off the court. And Michael Jordan, he changed everything in athletics with the sneaker deals. Michael Jordan's still making $42 million a year by Nike. It's the highest and the most priced sneaker out still to this day. And so it says a lot about his brand and who he is as a player. Yeah.
I mean, you can go heavy-winded all day. You can talk about, Michael Jordan for sure. I think this era is all about stats. I think everybody believes in the stats. Everything is stats. And you can go pound for pound of what stats is and what it does. But it's like you said in the beginning, if you grew up in that era and you actually saw games and you saw the standout crowds of the Chicago Bulls and the competitive drive of who
anywhere he went, he sold out.
Even
he was
the
always
U.S.
playing.
Olympic Games, like even the U.S. Olympic Games, how they had to shut down buses and routes and stuff like that for him to actually play. He's a phenomenal individual, man. I've never met Jordan. I've seen him from one side of the court to the other, and his aura is just something that you got to just see for sure. You know.
Here's a question. Do you own a pair of LeBrons?
Nah, I don't. They heavy. I'm a guard.
How many Jordan sneakers do you own?
Maybe 50. I ain't gonna lie.
All right, arrest my case. Arrest my case. There you go. There's your answer, ladies and gentlemen. Michael Jordan, 50 to nothing.
Yeah.